Well, the weekend is here, which means there's new things to see on the big and small screen.
Film critic Richard Crouse joins us to look now at more. Happy Friday, Richard. Good morning to you. Let's kick off with this Snow White, the live-action reimagination now.
Yeah, there's been a fair amount of controversy about this movie over the last few months online. And once you see it, it's kind of hard to understand exactly what all the fuss was about, because the movie itself is kind of bland, frankly. Rachel Ziegler as Snow White is a great singer, but the new songs I didn't think sort of jumped off the screen in the way that some of the old classics like Hi Ho, It's Off to Work We Go and, Whistle While You Work really sound like they stick in your head in the way the new songs don't. And you've got essentially the same story. It's been changed up a little bit, but not all that much. Snow White is no longer a damsel in distress. She is the leader of her own destiny. And I think a lot of parents will probably, approve of that kind of messaging coming from the film. But for me, overall, Snow White is fine family entertainment. You won't think about it too much after you leave the theater. For me, it was a little bit more ho-hum than hi-ho.
Well put.
Okay, I like that, Richard. All right, next up, we're turning to something called the Alto Knights, and it sounds like you didn't really enjoy this one.
Well, I wanted to, and for reasons, the same reason that Snow White is going to possibly not live up to a lot of people's expectations is because the expectations are so high. And so when I hear that Robert De Niro is making another gangster movie, but not only playing one character, he's playing the two central characters, Frank Costello and Vito Genovese, two major figures in the 1950s, 60s, and 70s underworld in New York City. You go in, at least I go in, with very high expectations, and they're not met, really, by this film. It is a movie that tells a story that's been told many, many, many other times before in better movies. And as much as I love Robert De Niro, I don't really get the gimmick here of having him play two characters. They're not brothers, so it's confusing why they look so much alike in the film, and it's sometimes hard to tell who is who. So this is like a 2.5 star out of 5 movie for me. If you're a Robert De Niro completist, maybe you have to go check this one out. But for me, one less Robert De Niro might have done the trick.
All right, bit of a miss, it sounds like. Okay, what about this Running Point that's coming out on Netflix, Richard?
Yeah, this is a fun series starring Kate Hudson as part of a family who is involved in a basketball dynasty called the Los Angeles Waves. And when her brother, who was the president of the company, gets involved in a scandal, she has to take over. Her other brothers aren't all that keen on her taking over, and neither are the basketball players themselves. So she really has to prove herself time after time after time. And so this is funny, light entertainment, but there's, I guess, a bit of a message woven all the way through it. But really, this one wants to make you smile and wants to keep you, watching episode after episode, and you forget how good Kate Hudson is at doing light comedy until you see her in something like Running Point, which is on Netflix right now.
Okay. Yeah, I love Kate Hudson in those rom-coms of the day, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, and yeah, she's quite brilliant. Okay, Richard, thanks so much for your picks, and we'll chat again next week. Have a great weekend.